guys, welcome to my channel. So this is the usual tournament introduction video that I do at the beginning of a tournament report, just to explain you a little bit what is the concept of the list, so that I don't have to explain everything again at the beginning of the upcoming battle reports, and also give you an overview of the list that I'm going to face, because there is a group stage at the beginning of WTC and I know already who are my three opponents, because this is the WTC single version of the tournament. So I'll subscribe to this one, and after the group stage you have a second stage, which is knockout. So this will be very interesting. I decided to continue with my ID experimentation. I wanted to try out. We just had a new version of the book the day before the due date for the list, so it was really interesting to see what I could come out with as a list. So I decided to make a mix between the learnings from my last tournament, which was Crippling Rights, and the new version of the book, new things that I found interesting. So regarding the character section, I wanted, and overall, generally speaking, I wanted to move out from the Immortal, like I explained in the last conclusion video, and to go again with Toruk Star, Toruk Anointed plus Commissioner. So that was general ID. So let's see, I kept the General and the Prophet of Shamut, or the Great Bull of Shamut, because I love this model, generally speaking, and I also want to continue to try out, see how it works, how I can improve by using him, and I really enjoy using the model. Obviously it's really expensive. I mean, it's 1/5 of my list in this model, which is quite a lot. It's still sensitive, it's still to be managed with precaution. So but I really love him, and I decided to keep him in the list. Commissioner BSB, 2-up, 4-up Infernal Weapon. Unfortunately, I didn't found the points to have a 1-up armor save. I would really have liked to have a 1-up, and also if I found a couple of points more, I would have liked to pay a Potion of Strength, because I think challenge can be sometimes problematic for this guy, and also maybe a Lucky Charm. So I was a bit short in points, and I decided to keep him quite cheap, but still resilient. As a second mage, I decided to bring Conjure, Adept, Witchcraft, pretty cheap, Scroll Caddy, Witchcraft. I found it useful because it's a single tournament, so I expected to face some cannon war machines at some point. And also I had a weakness in the list against Divination, because I'm bringing Kadim Titan, Great Bull of Shamut, and also Kadim Chariot. So I think Twisted Effigy might be very useful here. Also the Fly can be cool, because as an ID we have a weakness, it's the march rate. Even the Anointed don't go that fast with march rate, and also the list, generally speaking, is not going that fast laterally. Moving laterally not so good, except the Bull and the BSB, but the rest doesn't move that good laterally. They have low movement, low march value for these two guys, and these two don't move too well on the side. So I thought Raven's Wing here might be useful, and Deceptive Glamour is always interesting for the Anointed, that can strike pretty fast with Deceptive Glamour and the high movement rate, so they are likely to get the charge. So that was a bit the idea. Then the core section, so I kept my 2x20 Vassal that act either sometimes as chaff, sometimes as scoring, can be a threat. They are very versatile with the Relentless Banner, so I thought let's keep them. I brought an additional unit of Vassal Levies to have a bunker for the small mage on foot, and also I wanted to take advantage from the new rule of Oil Flask. The fact that you can shoot from 24 and give 2 tokens if you hit, I found that pretty strong in the current version of the book, and that's why I really wanted to get that in my list, to get some easy token early on with the balls. And I also gave them Spear and Shield. They are also able to fight if I need to. And then the last unit is a unit of Blunderbuss, 23 strong, full command, Flaming Standard with the Bastion. Obviously they are going to play together. So regarding this unit, I was considering since a couple of weeks bringing back the Bastion, because that was one of my learnings from the tournament, the Ocho that we won with Switzerland. I found the Bastion very, very strong, very solid. It's not strong, but it's definitely very, very solid, hard to break. And now with the new rule of infinite brand, I mean, it's impossible to break my steadfast because I double the rank when you charge me. So it brings a good, solid point in the list that is very hard to break. And this allows me as well to less need chaff because I have a bodyguard unit and the bastion unit that is even less sensitive because of the amount of rank that I can get if I get charged. So I'm almost sure to be steadfast, so I can move forward with this unit and try to reduce the space between me and my opponent and stop. Sometimes you have this face-off stage where we keep far away from each other and nobody can bring the statu quo within the game, and this kind of unit can go forward and create something. And I thought the shooting is also not bad. That's why I decided to bring a flaming standard, because it's quite easy to get some flammable token. So if I face a monster, I can always say, okay, 20 shots, strength 5, AP 3, reroll to wound. That's scary. Obviously it's one time, but that's scary. So that was the idea. Let's bring back the Bastion. Then special section. So obviously I have Bastion, 2 units of Anointed. So I kept the 3 guys with paired weapon that were really a satisfaction during my last tournament. And I brought back, instead of the Immortal, I brought back the Anointed that have a bit more projection. They can move forward a bit more than the Immortal. And I thought that might be useful because, it's more to my taste, first of all. And also in the solo tournament, you don't choose your matchup. That's why you might need to move forward and be really active. And bodyguard is as always pretty strong with this unit, but that's an expensive unit together with the BSB. That's more than 1,000 points, so it's also pretty expensive. As you can see, between this unit and my Prophet, you have most of the point, almost half the point of the list within 2 units. So it's pretty, It's almost all eggs in one basket. Almost. It's expensive, but it's also very solid. I mean, it's hard to break this unit. You really need to invest. Either you have a very strong character that can kill the BSB in one go, or you really are very strong on the charge and you can do a lot of damage to them. But that's really hard to do because of the resilience 5 and 3 up armor save. And then I had still a couple of points left, so I wanted to keep one big base as a hiding tool within my list. I thought with Great Bull of Shamut being in a single tournament, I might face some War Machine, and the Bastion is not enough with the size of the base to hide properly my Great Bull of Shamut. So I really wanted to bring back a big monster, and the discussion was within the Kadim Titan combat version and shooting version. I decided to try the shooting version, especially since I found the price pretty interesting with the rocket battery, and this is an additional tool against some cowboy monster that might be annoying, that might be present in this tournament. So I found interesting also in the early stages to have some shots before combat, but obviously it moves much less than the combat version that has the March 14, and this is one of the weaknesses of the list, as I mentioned before. And then with a bit more than 200 points left, I decided to bring an additional small combat unit. I mean, between the Anointed and the Bastion unit that can take some charges, it's good to have good counter charger, and I thought Kadim Chariot, for the amount of points you gain, it's not high quality, high damage, high quality attack, high strength, but it's a lot of attack. I mean, you have 6 attack from the Lugas, and then 3 attack from the Kadim Beast, plus some automatic hits, so it's definitely not bad at all for the amount of points, and it's decent with movement 7. It's also Infernal Brand, which can be useful regarding commanding presence, especially if you put in some a bit alone the Kadim Titan. Then if you want to get a better leadership, you can use him, for example, to support. That's a possibility. So this is the event tree that Frederick built for the singles. So we have a total of 14 groups. I was drawn in the group B together with Ezekiel from France, Daniel McMeeking and Hugh Scarlin. I think Hugh is from UK, and Daniel I don't know, to be honest. And I'm going to face these 3 guys one after the other. So first Ezekiel, then Daniel, then Hugh. And after this, the first 2 of each group are qualified for the final 3, and then the best third of four, the four best of the four people that came up with the most point at third place are going to be qualified as well. And then you have round of 32, round of 16, quarterfinal, semi-final, final. So it's it's a very long run. If you want to go through the final, it's going to be very hard, obviously. And also worth mentioning that the system during the group stage and also after, during the knockout stage, you just need to have more point than your opponent, more battle point than your opponent to win it 1-0. It's a 1-0 way to score, meaning it doesn't matter too much if you get an 11-9 or 20-0. It can matter in the group stage if you get same amount of point. That will be the tiebreaker. But then after, I mean, when you are in knockout, 11-9 is enough. Even a 10-10 with more point is enough to go through. So that's also something to consider. So yeah, that's all the group. You can pause if you want to see it. You can also find it on the official Discord of the WTC. Thanks a lot, by the way, to Frederick for the organization. Amazing organization, as always, from Frederick. You know what to expect with Frederick. When you join his tournament, it's really proper organization. So thanks a lot, Fred. And since we are playing the group stage, we know already the matchup. So we know every parameter. And you know I like that. So you get the list, you get the scenario secondary, you get deployment, and you get also the map, which is really perfect. And at the time I'm talking to you, I've already played this first game. Then this will be this week my second game, and Hugh the week after, more or less. We have until the 5th May, I guess, to play all 3 games. So my first game, Ezekiel, I will talk a bit more, obviously, in the battle report, but just to go very quickly through the list. So the first guy is very heavy UD, heavy magic, as always, with the Soul Conduit. You know that you are always getting very strong magic with the Master Double Adept. Then, obviously, 18-inch March. Cowboy Pharaoh with the Sandstorm Cloak. Didn't see this build before. I know that Pharaoh is getting popular again, but I saw him a bit more on a horse, so I was surprised to see him on foot. Then in the core section, 2 big block of skeleton with Relentless to go fast forward with Pharaoh, obviously. Double block of Archer to be bunker for the mage. And then you get a unit of Necropolis Guard, a very solid, good close combat unit. 2 small units of Sharpty Archer to get some additional scoring and a couple of high strength shot, and also a unit that can countercharge for pretty cheap. And then the speciality of this list, the particularity of this list, is a 666 Scarab Swarm, which is the max that you can get from the swarms, and they are surprisingly cheap and effective, especially in combination. You really need, when you take a look at them, you need to consider the magical setup, because you get easily double reroll to hit, reroll to wound, +1, -1 strength, ward save. You have a lot of spell that you can get that can buff them. And yeah, as a reminder, they have weapon skill 3, they have distracting, poison attack, AP 1, strength 2. So definitely very good against monster and stuff. So a scary list for me, considering the monster that I have, because the swarm will be hard to manage. Then we move on. Second list will be Daniel McMeeking. He's playing full cav Empire, a bit old school, very funny. So didn't face this kind of list since a long time. So I was, I'm eager to see how it will go. So he has 4 scoring units. You have 2 big boss of Electoral Cavalry, 2 units of Sun Griffon, double chaff steam tank. And that's it on the table. And then you have plenty of character to have all possible boost on the 2 electoral cav unit. So you have double prelate to get both time the hatred. Then you have a martial BSB with MR2 to protect a little bit against alchemy mostly. And then you have 2 strong characters. We have the first one with Locket of Suna, obviously, to get some challenges. Master Divination as well, to give very nice combat buff together with Prelate. And then you have Knight Commander with the Light of Sunstall, who is also pretty decent in challenges. So interesting. Obviously, it's a short list, tiny list, not a lot of unit on the table, but it's not so easy to break them. And he decided to go both time with Cavalry pick, which is strength 4, AP 3. I found funny to see that both units don't strike better when they charge in comparison to when they are charged, which is quite funny, I thought. And then this will be on breakthrough and dawn assault on map number 5, A5. And then the third and last game will be against Hugh. I didn't know that you can fit 3 grid demon in the character setup. It was funny. Obviously they have no modification, no manifestation whatsoever. They are all apprentice, so they are as cheap as possible, but still you have 3 big monsters, and he brought also the engine of damnation to have a 4th one. So 4 big monsters that stomp and that are pretty scary. You know, it's always a challenge to manage 4 big pieces like that. Then it's MSU-ish type of list, as it is very often with the demon. 5 small units as scoring unit, and also support combat unit in the core section. Double Blazing Glory and Veil Serpent that are very useful, because obviously you will get sometimes challenge by champion, and you would like these guys to strike on the unit, so it's useful to have additional models that can take these challenges. And also it's some additional high mobility unit, single model more or less. And also Veil Serpent, worth mentioning that it's adding some spells to the list together with the Sorcerer's Antennae from the Hope Harvester, and then 5 Siren as a chaff. So definitely it could look like he's pretty low in magic, but if you look at everything, you still have plenty of combat buff. So this is definitely a very aggressive army, and you know what to expect from such a list. Okay, that's it guys. So yeah, I was very eager to start because that's 3 matches that are uncommon for me. I didn't face any of these 3 lists or something that looks like that with the new Infernal Dwarfs since the release of the first release of the book. So I was really eager to try out first to analyze this matchup, to see how it goes, and after to debrief and see how was my first matchup analysis, and afterwards what are the learnings, and obviously to be able then to make a better estimation game plan for this kind of match in the future. So very interesting group stage for me here. Challenging, obviously. You need to be within the two first, or be one of the best third. So definitely you need 2 wins out of 3 games to go through more or less. So definitely it will be challenging, but very interesting, and I will keep you posted obviously on my channel, but as well also on my Discord channel. I will put the link below, an invitation to the Discord channel, because I'm posting here the time when I am going to play these games. So just during the day before the game, I'm posting in quickly to say tonight is the game, posting the list again. And for the people that want to watch it live, this is a way to do it. If you prefer to watch it live rather than the battle report, or just write, for example, I love to watch the beginning of battle to see how went the deployment and stuff like that, to see live how the people did manage to do the deployment. So sometimes it's very interesting to do that, and then you can switch off and just check the battle report afterwards. So you have full flexibility here. Thanks a lot guys for watching. Don't hesitate to interact with me on the Discord channel or in the YouTube comment section, and talk to you soon on my channel. Bye bye.